Welcome, blood brothers and sanguine sisters, to Deeply Discussing Dexter. I'm your host, Dale Maxfield. I'm joined by Aaron Caldwell.
Hello.
Brooke Merritt.
Hello.
And Zach Rowland.
Hey.
And today we're discussing Season 5, Episode 2, Hello, Bandit. On this episode, the FBI gives Miami Metro a run for their money on effectiveness. Everybody lives at Deb's apartment. Quinn wears a wife beater, surprising no one. Well, bye, kids! And Dexter finds a new serial killer to occupy his time. What did you guys think of this episode overall? Hated it.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not even.
You watched episode 1 and you thought, well, it couldn't get worse than this, right?
You'd think, and then life just finds new ways of punching you in the nuts.
Such a steep decline. Like, the first episode, it was bad, but it wasn't the worst. This episode was like, well, shit.
So bad.
What am I doing watching this? Like, do I even want
Why
to
am
watch
I
the
still
rest
here?
of the season?
So this episode is in the capable hands of our Season 6 through 8 showrunner, Scott Buck. He wrote this one. This pattern will continue.
I saw his name and immediately just got it upset, like when I was watching. And now I need to fast forward through that part of it, period, because I'm just gonna get pissed off every time I see his name.
Fast forward.
You're going to be pissed for a long time.
Intro. Live in the now.
Well, the writing credit's always on the actual episode.
Yeah, it's like 30 seconds in.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna have to skip past all of that too.
Yeah.
You don't need that dialogue. Dale will hit you with the recap.
Yes.
Tonight's the night that Scott Buck doesn't get it right.
Oh, Scott Buck. So Dexter is in the swimming pool, reflecting on how his killing that man in the bathroom was on one of the 7 stages of grief. There's an embarrassing still photo of Dexter's apartment complex at night that they use as a transition shot. Now, you can use footage of a place at night that you shot with a camera, but using a still photo that just kind of moves slightly to the left is really bad. Aster complains that Dexter, Deb, and the kids are all cramming into Deb's apartment. Dexter says it's just until they can find a new place. Aster and Deb will be sharing the bed. Dexter's on the couch. Cody's on a cot. For the first time, Cody is not thrilled at something.
All new Cody.
Disappointment.
I was totally ready for him to say, I get the cot? Because he always is excited about whatever it is that he gets. And this time he's just like, Dexter tells Aster and Cody to get ready for bed so they can go to school tomorrow. Aster points out that she has none of her school things. Deb makes a pointed look at Dexter like, you didn't think about any of this at all, did you? Rather than make a list for Dexter, Aster wants to go to the house with him to get her things. Deb reminds Dexter that he has to be interviewed by the FBI. Cut to the next morning when they seem to be asking him about his whereabouts when Rita was killed, but they know he was at Arthur Mitchell's house during the raid, which is when the coroner said Rita was getting killed. They ask him why Arthur Mitchell might have wanted to target Rita. Dexter says, because he's a serial killer. End of interview.
Wrapped it up real tidy.
Yeah. I was like, they have him. They got him.
Yeah.
They were like, we know you were there, and you're just like, oh, shit, this could really go down. And then, no. Because Scott Buck's an asshole.
They could have had another moment, like in Season 2, where Dexter's on one side of the table, and Lundy and Matthews are on the other side of the table, and you're sure that Dexter is fucked. And instead it's just, well, he was a serial killer. Never can tell with them. You're free to go.
Well, and The one investigator, she's so cloying and pandering, like, and we know that you were there the night he was arrested. You were helping. Like, it was just so...
Yeah.
Like she was talking to a little kid in school.
Lundy was the only good cop. 2. Just Lundy was the only good cop. Just the FBI is terrible and Miami Metro is terrible. So just everything is terrible.
Law enforcement sucks in this world.
And people die in Miami sometimes.
Sometimes they're murdered.
There you go. That's the other thing I was trying to think of.
Dexter walks through Miami Metro getting Harrison back from Deb. Everyone wishes him well, and LaGuerta insists he take at least another week off. Dexter mentions to Deb that the grandparents will be over that night, so more people at the apartment. Angel asks Deb about the overcrowded apartment. She puts up a front and tells Angel it's temporary and that Dexter doesn't want his kids in the house where Rita died. The FBI tell LaGuerta that they've cleared Dexter. They mention that they have jack shit. The only real hint of a lead is Kyle Butler. The FBI guy cannot act. LaGuerta mentions the murdered Kyle Butler. They're going to look into it further and keep her posted. Yeah, that guy is absolutely awful. He has 2 lines to say to LaGuerta, and it's just like, "Hello, I am the man from the FBI."
He's somebody. He's got Buck's brother.
He's doing the whole Ron Howard thing.
Yeah.
Scott Buck just brings in his brother, John Buck.
He's the Clint Howard of Scott Buck.
Where he's going to be in the next episode as somebody in the background in Miami Metro.
Yeah.
Be a waiter in a couple episodes down the road.
It's always
Deb's
wonderful
death
to
vagina
read
is going to
these
kill
things.
him. The Angel drops LaGuerta's mail and sees a bank account balance sheet. LaGuerta's pay is exactly $2,000 per period, and there's no other transactions in the account. The total balance is $268,000. 134 weeks of paychecks in this account. Dexter goes shopping for a moving van rental and sees a truck with some dried blood in it. Dexter rents the truck with the blood.
Good. It's a good motivator when you're picking out your rental vans.
Hey, blood. I'll take it.
Yeah.
Dexter is packing when Elliot comes in with Dexter's mail. Elliot says he wishes he could get his hands on the Trinity Killer. Dexter says, "I bet." Elliot then goes on an endless advice rant about how being a single dad means giving up your career for your kids. Dexter drops the box of cutlery and pulls out a giant knife and looks up fiendishly at Elliot. The moment passes. Dexter internally says he will sacrifice for the kids. The blood in the back of the truck calls to him, but he resists for now. Dexter shows up with the stuff from his house to unpack into Deb's. The grandparents are there. There's way too much food. Aster complains that Dexter only brought her reject pile, not the clothes that she would actually wear to school. Dexter says, "Don't worry about it, Aster. It's not like anyone will notice you." Boom. Cody says he likes the apartment. It's like camp. Cody's back. Dexter says boys are easier.
There's just a series of events that just don't seem to be how things work. Like the fact that he shows up with a couple of boxes for a whole house full of stuff.
Yeah.
And the moving van is he gets the 14-footer, but it's he doesn't even know what he's gonna move or where's he gonna move it. It's there's just so many semantics of things that aren't necessary but still bother me because they're done badly.
The things that he needs to bring back actually don't require a moving van.
Yeah.
He needs Aster's school clothes and their books and that's it.
And there's no room for anything else.
Just throw that stuff in the car and take it to Deb's and make Cody sleep on it or something. I don't know.
But then how would he have found the blood?
Yeah, exactly.
So, yeah, they really had to orchestrate. They had to stretch so hard to orchestrate that. And most people would see that blood and think, oh, somebody was loading a couch and cut their hand open. But, then there would be no story.
Yeah, he even says that. He says, probably an innocent explanation. Somebody sliced their hand open on a box cutter and But
have to fill an hour of this shit
just gotta
show.
check it out. Yeah.
So do you guys also not have a reject pile? Just me and Aster?
I have a feeling like most of Aster's room is her reject pile at this point. Like
That's
she's
teenage
stuck up with
girls.
a teenager.
So, yeah.
Dexter and Harrison can't sleep, so they go on a field trip to check the blood in the truck. See how long that took to get to? Harrison likes the luminol, which is likely rotting his brain because it's toxic. Dexter tells a story to Harrison about the murder in the truck involving an ogre killing a princess with blunt force trauma. Harry shows up to bitch at Dexter for not putting his kids first. Dexter says this is like how you put on your own oxygen mask before helping children. If he doesn't take care of himself, he'll spiral out of control.
There's so much to unpack here.
Parenting, right?
There's so much dumb. I mean, Brooke and I are the only parents on this show, but I think all of us can agree that everything that just happened was ridiculous.
Stupid.
Oh, yes.
All of it, every bit.
I mean, it's so hard to pick out of this episode, like, what was done horrifically and what was not done horrifically. Because all of it was done horrifically. So, where do you go?
In my mind, the next logical move is for him to take Harrison on the kills with him, and then he just turns him around at the last second before the blood splatter hits him with a little, like, baby shield. Like a little, like... Oh my god! Like what?
He's going
Right.
to cut up the bodies, and he's
This
got
is
like
just-
that chest thing where he's just got the baby out in front of him. It's
Oh,
just splattered.
the baby Bjorn, right? He's like,
It's just
Very
so
exciting.
much awful. So much
That would
awful.
have been a better show. That would have been better.
The menus for this season on the Blu-ray are just the marketing photos for the season, which are Dexter and Harrison covered in like strawberry jam that looks like blood, and the Harrison that's in the marketing photos doesn't look at all like Harrison in the show, and
Which
B,
Harrison? There's two of them.
well, yeah, and B is so photoshopped as to look like the Gerber baby, like it's half illustration at this point. So there's just like this weird like baby making an insane face with strawberry all over him, and Dexter's just like, yeah.
So bizarre. Well, and,
But at
and
least there
too,
haven't been
he's-
any spoilers yet in the menu.
And he's taken a baby to sneak around and try to do this stuff. Babies cry. So I just want to also point out how stupid that is. He's trying to be sneaky and he's whispering, "You've got a baby with you."
Yeah, and then he's in an enclosed space,
Right.
spraying luminol
Right.
with a baby.
With a baby. Like, there's so much that's just like, oh my god.
When he's sneaking around with Harrison, he hits him with that M99. Straight out.
Oh god.
Dexter tracks the truck rental to a sanitation worker who takes care of removing dead animals. The blood is human. He sets up some roadkill to bait the guy, whose name is Boyd Fowler. The guy passes a few innocuous questions about moving around a lot and other signs he might be a killer. The guy sees through the roadkill CSI style. He can tell the raccoon didn't die here. He mentions defensive wounds on the paws. This guy put up a fight.
Oh my god.
Here's another somewhat known actor that they brought in. Sean Hatasi, I think is how you pronounce it. I don't know.
Yeah, and he's usually, he's pretty good. I guess he's not bad in this, but he does some decent work. This is so bad. Well, and also, when he's looking at the website and it has a picture of the employees of the dead animal pickup, do they really do that for dead animal pickup? I'm not thinking, it's not like it's a law office or a doctor's office. It's dead
Meet your
animal pickup.
roadkill workers.
Right? Like, so stupid.
Yeah.
That just made me laugh out loud because I'm like, seriously, they don't do this.
That's just like it's for like an Uber, you know, like you have to see a picture of the person that's going to show up because otherwise you could be murdered.
Oh my god.
Yes. Here it comes. He's going to pick up your roadkill. It's like the Uber of roadkill. Jesus is coming for you. Quinn is filling in Angel at a crime scene. It's a female victim. Well, part of a female victim. It's a head. The show thinks this is hilarious. Angel asks Quinn, hypothetically, if a married person discovers the other one has a large savings account, should they share that? And Quinn says, fuck no, you tell her to keep her hands off it. Quinn tries to tuck in Deb's shirt tail. Deb says that Aster kicked her all night. He mentions that she's welcome to crash at his place if it will help. And my note here was, I picture Aster not sleeping, just kicking Deb every time she falls asleep.
I thought the same thing.
She's got a lot of anger to work out. She's just like, they're just kicking her.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, that's
all
great.
All night long, and Deb. A Latina uniform officer tells Deb the way the head is cut up looks like Santa Muerte, Saint Death. She says the message means you saw nothing, you say nothing. The eyes and tongues are removed. Deb's a condescending bitch to her. Quinn found the body at the other end of the park. Dexter can't find an online guide to dealing with children whose mother bled out in a bathtub. Dexter finds out that Boyd Fowler inherited his home from his parents. Deb returns and Dexter gives her a clinical rundown of everyone's status, including Aster, telling Dexter she hates him. Deb says so, it's everything as usual. Deb gives in and calls Quinn to sleep over. Quinn tries to kiss her, but she pushes him away. Deb says, I came here to sleep, not to have your fat little sausage fingers all over me.
Which is rude.
Deb tells Quinn thinks it's hilarious. Deb tells Quinn that the FBI thinks that Kyle Butler, some friend of Arthur Mitchell's, is the key to finding him, but they can't find Kyle either. She says they're having sketches done. Quinn thinks the name sounds familiar, and Deb reminds him of the unsolved murder that they worked on a few days before on the show's timeline.
That's so bad.
They're just not getting anything right. It's just
they moved Rita from the bathroom to the graveyard. Like there was no time in between.
Yeah. Dexter and Cody are making pancakes. Asher comes out in a better mood because the scene calls for it. She goes to set the table but counts too many plates. Dexter tries to reassure her, but she wants her mom and her house back. Cody yells at them both to stop fighting and leaves in a huff. So does Aster.
Where do they go? They're in an apartment.
Yeah, Cody goes to like the bathroom. Like literally he walks into the bathroom and Aster walks back into the bedroom where she came from. But yeah, there are very few places to be in that apartment.
It's a house of mirrors.
Like there's actually craft services is where the bathroom is, so
yeah, it's all an illusion.
Quinn asks Deb if they're ever going to talk about what's going on between them. Deb says she's not the kind of person that would ever have sex with Quinn. It never happened. Quinn says that's weird because I remember, and Deb leaves. Masuka is doing a shitty job of blood spatter analysis. Deb suggests the machete, and Masuka cuts some crazy jagged slice through a dummy's neck and declares it a match. Angel tries his hypothetical married couple savings account story on Deb, who tells him it's her money, end of story. Miami Metro is called out to yet another crime scene, a guy with a massive gunshot wound in the head. Masuka is pissed the guy made such a bloody mess, and this victim's wound is one of the goriest on the show so far.
So, when we first started this podcast,
we were so much younger and
optimistic and hopeful.
So much hope.
I remember
Obama was still president.
I thought it was Reagan, actually.
I remember thinking Angel was one of the better characters on this show.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I think
watching it,
We thought that, yeah.
What the fuck was I thinking? Because no way is this sad Teast the great character that I remember.
I was about to point out a different inconsistency. Masuka keeps whining about the blood and how he doesn't want to be around the blood and he can't deal with the blood. He's worked with the blood several times throughout the series.
Yeah.
Yeah, he went into the ice truck killer hotel room with Dexter.
Right. He was fine when it was just buckets upon buckets. Just if it's a little bit of blood, he hates the blood. He's a bumbling idiot falling down in it. Like, did we forget that he's done this?
Call for him to hate blood like it does in this episode.
Death of one is a tragedy. Yeah.
It's just like how Aster's in a terrible mood, except for that one scene where she needs to get from a good mood to a terrible mood, so she starts in a good mood.
Consistency is key with the show.
Yes. Scott Buck, everybody.
Scott Buck.
Yes. Buck you. The Latina uniform is there again. Deb tells her the machete turned out to be true. Quinn finds a picture of the deceased with a woman. He tells Deb that she looks like the woman they found with no eyes or tongue. Quinn thinks it was a murder-suicide. Deb notices there's no Santa Muerte stuff there. She asks the uni what she thinks. She thinks Deb's right. A chunk of brain matter falls from the ceiling onto Masuka. He asks when Dexter is coming back. Dexter checks out Boyd Fowler's place. He's found a drum of roadkill sweltering in the Miami heat. Fucking gross. He has nothing in his cupboards except one kind of soup and one kind of tuna. Dexter finds a loaded gun, something a convicted felon can't have. Fowler gets home and starts listening to a self-help CD. Dexter finds that the door to the attic is locked and barred. He finds a lock of hair in a room and tries to make his way out of the house unnoticed.
So none of you guys just like one type of soup, just me and that guy? Is that? I mean, I feel like I'm getting really one-sided here on this stuff.
Yeah, Zach, there's something weird about that.
Oh.
It's like in the old Popeye cartoons. Whenever Olive Oil opens up her wardrobe, she just has like 30 of the same dress. Yeah. And she always wears the same thing. She's like, which one? Right. This one. Deb tricks Quinn into looking at a house for Dexter. Quinn figures it out and pretends that he and Deb are the ones house hunting. Dexter follows Boyd's sanitation truck out to the middle of nowhere. Boyd dumps a barrel into a marshy area near some other abandoned items. Deb calls Dexter. The kids never went to class after the counselor. Dexter finds them at the house, start staring at the bathtub where Rita died. He apologizes for not bringing them back when Aster asked him to. Aster yells at him for giving them hope, just when they had settled into life without a dad. Now it's his fault that their family isn't what she wanted. And Cody says, it's not Dexter's fault.
Yes!
Oh my fucking God.
Yes!
You complete me, new Cody.
It all comes full circle.
I don't know how to process this.
It's like the last episode with Cody for a long time, and here he is just completely redeeming the season 1 Cody, telling Dexter it's not his fault.
I mean, this is the best writing we've had since the Trinity Killer. Since Rita
go
died.
Buck yourself. Aster tells Dexter she wants to live with her grandparents. Cody forgets to say anything else. Otherwise, he would have disagreed, but he just walks away. Quinn gets a copy of the FBI's Kyle Butler sketches from LaGuerta. Angel ambushes LaGuerta in her office with her savings account. She says they never discuss things that deeply. Angel says he pictures them at 80 walking down the beach hand in hand. I guess with Ices and Cuervo again. Angel's feelings are hurt. He says, I get it. I'm irresponsible. He walks into the bullpen and announces drinks tonight are on him.
This whole storyline is terrible. It's so terrible. I don't care at all about their money. I don't care at all.
It's 2 seasons now. 2 seasons we've been saddled with this story.
They just got married, now they're fighting over the freaking money. I don't care.
Yeah, like a week ago at this point, maybe.
God.
Yeah, it's insane.
So, Dexter tells Deb that Aster and Cody are going to go back to Orlando to live with their grandparents. Cody didn't want to go, but Dexter told him about his relationship with Deb and that it's important that Cody and Aster never split up. Nice one, writers. Deb says that she never would have made it without Dexter. Dexter says he was trying to make it work. Deb calls Quinn and says they had sex. Quinn asks if it was good sex and if they're going to have more. Deb says she has said all she wants to say. Quinn is folding the sketches in on themselves.
It's so juvenile. I'm sorry.
It just gets deeper and deeper, man.
We had sex. Yes. Yeah. I was there. Angel is getting Masuka drunk because apparently he was the only one that went out with Angel. Some guy tells Angel that LaGuerta is a sugar mama. Angel punches him. The guy manages to miss Angel and punch Masuka somehow. Angel is dragged off the guy after beating him pretty soundly. Dexter is sending off the kids. Cody hugs him and asks to stay with Dexter again. Dexter says for now he has to go, but they'll still see each other. He says Orlando's not that far. Cody says yes it is. Yes, Cody. Yes, it is. Yes. Dexter says that children connect him to what he can never get back. Aster leads Cody away. Dexter tells Aster that her mother loved her more than she can imagine, and Dexter could too. Dexter opens the drum in the water and finds a dead woman inside, which, hey, that was the Blu-ray thumbnail for this episode.
Jeez.
Spoiler alert.
Was the dead woman. So, there you go. End of episode.
Thank God.
Sweet, merciful crap.
Yep. Well, it's not Dexter's fault. It's Scott Buck's.
Yeah. Thank Cody for pointing that out. This was directed by John Dahl, who directed 16 total episodes between seasons 3 and 8 of Dexter. It was written by everybody's favorite, Scott Buck. Becomes the showrunner next season, and things go horribly wrong. Even more. Who also worked on the Netflix Inhumans miniseries as well as Iron Fist, which are both dead. Best line of the episode.
I'm going with the fat little sausage fingers all over me.
I actually really liked the line where Aster said that, we got used to not having a dad. You made us feel like we could be a family and we could be happy, and now everything's ruined. I actually like that line.
I also picked the fat sausage fingers line. That was a good one. I did. There wasn't much to choose from.
Sure there was. You have to go with, it's not your fault, Dexter.
It's a pretty good
one. The ultimate line. Worst line of the episode.
Anytime Angel talked this episode.
Yeah, that's true.
What I have down.
I went with when Dexter says, it doesn't matter how much I love my children, I'm still a creature of the night. That was just so hokey. That's so Scott Buck.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Scott Buck is such a creature of the night.
Something.
I had the one, but the online guide for dealing with children whose mothers bled out in a bathtub. Too much.
I've always dreamed about seeing her naked, but not like this. The Chicky Hines Memorial performance of the episode.
I give it to the kids. Aster and Cody. It's their final episode, damn it.
Not forever.
I went with
just
Aster.
Until the writers figure out something to do with them again. But yeah, I would give it to Christina Robinson, who plays Aster.
Yeah, I would say Aster, for sure.
So that does it. Hey guys, we made it through a Scott Buck season 5 episode. We can do this. We can do this. 46 more to go. Thank you.
You say so.
For podcasting with me, and thank you all for listening. We'll see you on the next Deeply Discussing Dexter.